Así que el mensaje que de antes lo grabé después de salir.
Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages from you when you were outside.
Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages together.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
What?
I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty, except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru City space when you set foot outside of the walls. But everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable. And if we take your word for it, the other spaces all had very weird contents.
There's another part here. I only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing, one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Y no puede ser.
Why did the message end right there? What did the traveler want to say? What are those spaces?
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from here or from the message?
The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal.
After the beep, Traveler said even the final space has also disappeared.
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
El espacio del mundo real.
Was that space actually the real world? But wouldn't a real space just randomly disappearing like that be catastrophic? That doesn't sound right. I need to carefully think things through.
Se está creando un nuevo espacio por cada cambio que hemos hecho.
My impression is that each day in this samsara only ends at the sound of that beep from the Akasha.
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sub-Zero's festival, also disappears, and we're taken to the next day. Later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Do lots of new
Está entonces en una especie de
spaces appear every day?
simulación.
Paimon's head is spinning. Just what are these spaces anyhow?
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of gods fought over 7 seats. So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small and simple secret.
Wow, the Archon War, huh? That's an analogy and a half.
Un secreto. Primero de tiempo, tengo que poner mis ideas en orden.
Hey, where are you going?
¿A dónde? Chihuahuas quieres irte, novia? Ay, Dios.
think? Alright then, Paimon won't disturb you.
The dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Ya llegó el momento de la danza de Sub-Zero.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad? We still have some other stuff to do first.
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking away.
Creo que ya sé la respuesta.
Awesome, what is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh, wait, no. Let's meet up with Nahida first. You can tell us both together. Then...
Ay, upsí. Ay, te regreso con la gira. Yeesh.
You're back. I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces, are you ready to take your Sub-Zero's exam and graduate from the festival?
Pregunté al profesor Nahida.
Okay. First off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
El samsara del día de Sub-Zero.
We've already experienced the Sub-Zero's festival many times. And the day of the festival seems to be in a perpetual samsara. That doesn't sound right.
Or
I need
Chihuahuas.
to carefully think things through. People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange phenomenon.
What the fuck? Y otra entrada.
The moon, illusions, and lies. All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence.
Un sueño sin
Those
gente.
spaces remind me of dreams. Like the one I had in the Avidia forest. Except these have no sign of human presence. Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's...
The hell?
We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream. Rather, the Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
Ah.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream. But the truth is, the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when she was trying to describe them. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big dream together right now.
Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this?
Dentro de la caja y la hipnosis.
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate.
El poder de la de la
It is the
sabiduría.
manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power.
La
It
sabiduría dentro del
compiles the
pueblo.
wisdom of the entire populace
Otorgamiento
and
de
it grants knowledge
conocimientos.
to the people.
That doesn't sound... That doesn't...
Oh, okay. those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That would explain why the Akasha has the ability to control people's dreams too. But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything more to it than that?
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are
Digo
rich
sinceramente
bundles of
sin
human
comprender
wisdom.
patata.
So in other
O
words,
una
the
parte.
complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So it was all a dirty trick? The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh?
Pero parece que los sabios no les basta con eso.
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
Las palabras del gran
Grand
sabio.
Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content." Did he mean something more? We've already experienced the Sabzeruz festival many times. Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized.
Ujú.
Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sabzeruz festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha.
Sigo
No one is
estando
any the
bastante
wiser as
perdida.
another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sabzeruz festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the
Pero
Akasha.
¿para qué están cosechando todo esto?
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine. Did Paimon get that analogy right?
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything.
Alright, last question. Who am I?
La luna.
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. So then, if Nahida has referred to herself as the moon...
Es una ilusión.
So you noticed.
Es la reina menor personal.
I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. We just didn't want to expose you is all.
Ha.
Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali, Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
Tengo muchas preguntas que hacerte.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about here and now.
¿Por qué no nos dices directamente la verdad?
You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your minds. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions.
No, fue objetivo de guía.
Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing.
¿Por qué consiguieron los sabios que nadie se dé cuenta?
Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sub-Zero's festival, so it would be very difficult for them to find anything that strikes them as surreal. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memories from earlier samsara, right? That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. And in any case, their actual dreams are being taken away from them by the Akasha. So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sub-Zero's festival, they don't remember anything from their previous identical dream.
That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia forest, but couldn't see what it was about after waking up. Is that an example of what you mean?
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element's dream-enhancing power. That explains the feelings of deja vu. Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in the Sub-Zero's festival samsara, while their dreams are stolen from them over and over again.
¿Los efectos secundarios de los sueños procesen más?
Humans really keep dreaming forever like this? Will it ever end? And if so, when?
You might say your mental fatigue has already answered this question. Eventually, there's only so much that people can tolerate. Especially those whose health is compromised to begin with, like Dunyarzad. This relentless exploitation takes an even harder toll on them.
People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing! We've got to put a stop to this!
¿Por qué el sueño es acerca del festival de
I know,
Sub-Zero?
right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be a coincidence?
Even you don't know the reason? Wow, now that's strange.
The Academia sages are determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter the cost. They have to be up to no good. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about it. Traveler, do you have any information?
Me siguen sonando esto, es que también esto me está
Dendro
acordando.
said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's content.
Un sueño sin
This
gente.
oasis reminds me of dreams, like the one I. Okay, Nahida said, the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the that does.
Sí, me queda, es que, o sea,
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean...
no tengo más preguntas.
Saving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do, this is unforgivable. After we end the Sub-Zero's festival Samsara, we have to look into them.
How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their Archon's back? This is ridiculous!
Yo ya sabía desde el inicio de que estos payasos
I'm
eran
just the
bien.
moon.
Ah,
The real sun is long gone.
A sun and a moon? Nahida's talking in riddles again.
y otra
We're
vez.
out of time today!
I'll tell you how to break free of the Samsara tomorrow. See you then.
Uy, no puede ser, pero qué quebrada de cabeza y qué cabrones los de la academia.
Good morning, Nahida. Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Ya también ella está exhausta.
What's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
¿A dónde fue Dunyarzad?
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
No.
Did Dunyarzad already disappear? No way. Are we too late?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Estamos tan cerca.
Paimon can't believe it. Wait, so what about that other Dunyarzad? Just what is she?
She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream. So another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of the dream that helps to keep it going.
But personality-wise, she's nothing like the real Dunyarzad.
Puppets are stiff and can't copy a living person's vitality. After all, they're just there as filler.
Y bueno, eso ya lo sabíamos.
Speaking of which,
Por
the
Shogun.
old Dunyarzad might not have been too different from a puppet.
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness, and it was you who inspired her. So you do remember her after all.
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. It was as if she only lived to stall her Elazar. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still
Significó mucho para ella.
far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sabzeruz festival with so many regrets.
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone.
I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance between myself and a real Archon.
Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real Archons are still allowed to be sad.
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as possible.
Great, but how do we do that?
Although the Sabzeruz festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So, how should we find that person?
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change anything in this dream.
Yep.
Imagination? What do you mean by that?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when a server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and more on the plate, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really
¿Quién es el
has
sueño
gold
si
and
no
more.
es de esta doña?
But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many
Danilo.
times they're served, it will always be food.
¿Y qué hacemos tras localizar al dueño?
Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens, the person will wake up and the dream samsara will be broken.
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack. And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming? After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host and ending the samsara. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams where the traveler went?
Yes, I want to try something. There must still be a small wisp of possibility. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Confirmo.
I'm
Es en Nilu.
uncertain
El sueño es en Nilu.
this far only for Dunyarzad to... She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate was against her.
Me siento muy abatida de repente.
Yeah. Saving mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone else. So let's break the samsara for her sake. Hyman's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this stream? Feels like it would be easier to control it that way, no?
Es poco probable. Si supieran del plan se darían cuenta fácilmente de que están soñando.
Huh. That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on there being other factors beyond their control, like Nahida and us. So, who do you think the host of the dream is?
Faris, no.
Oh, that would make sense. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, is a symbol of the wholesome Zerus festival, right? Pretty core character. Let's go ask him some questions, shall we?
Es Nilo. Oh, shit. Voy a cruzar por toda esa cosa.